So I wanted to do a video of, some of you know that I've been building the this thing, the Deagostini Millennium Falcon model. I've been working on it for about 2 months, and I've been working probably at least 40 hours a week on it for 2 months to build it. And then I also painted it, but you don't have to paint it. If you don't paint it, it comes, you can see the color that it comes with is like that piece there is an unpainted piece. But I wanted to paint the whole thing because it doesn't have, you know, all the panel lines. It has some of them, but it doesn't have, you know, these ones, and it's missing actually most of the panel lines. And I've always wanted the Master Replicas Falcon. This is the same guy who I think co-founded Master Replicas helped Deagostini with this model, and it's pretty much the same. It's the same model, it's the same size as the Master Replica ones, except for this is a model kit. You have to put it together, and you have to paint it if you want it painted, and it's not limited edition like the Master Replicas one. But I think it has a few things that the Master Replica one doesn't have, which I'll go over in a minute. But first thing I'll show you is when you get to issue 100, you get this remote, and it is all the light up feature for it. The cockpit lights up. I actually painted, I used some clear paints to give some of the lighting some colors. You know, I used like a clear red and clear blue. So that lights up. Headlight lights up. It's got docking lights. It's got 4 of them that light up. And the back lights up as well, and the gun turrets here. These are actually really neat. As you can take this out. I can take this out carefully. If you can see in there, you have to build like the actual gun turret. It has like a little chair in there, and the side panels. I think the light might be too bright. Maybe if I shut it off here. You might be able to know. You can't see anything at all now. But yeah, it's got one on the top and one on the bottom. And so I'm not a model builder. This was my first model, and so every issue comes with, when you first get it, you get like a series guide, right? And it's just an introduction to the model and all of the features. It has like motorized ramp and all of the lighting and stuff like that. And each issue comes with like one of these guides. So there's 100 issues in total to build this, and each one comes with these guides, and it's got a bunch of information in the beginning, and then it goes through the parts that you get with the issue, and then pretty clear instructions on how to put them. There's so much sprue work. There's so many greeblies to put on this thing, so many that you have to cut off and file down and glue on. Like this is this here, this part here, this engine bay took me a whole day just to put all the greeblies on, like just to glue all this stuff on there. So yeah. Here's a look at it. It's huge. It's like 32 inches. So it's a one scale of the model, one of the models they used in The Empire Strikes Back. And yeah, I'd have to say putting this together was, everything fits really well. Like as far as the model goes, as far as I can tell, it's really good. Like everything fits really well, but the motorized ramp was the worst thing. I actually had it working for most of its life, and then during building this, when I was flipping it, and I broke one of the little tabs in the motorized ramp so that it doesn't know when to stop going down, so it's kind of fucked now, but it's okay because the lights are what matters to me, not the ramp. But so here's a look at it. It also comes with a whole bunch of blueprints. Like here's one of the first ones you get. It shows the size of it and a bunch of detail here, and then you flip it over, it's got like, inside is all a steel frame. So you build the steel frame first, and that's kind of what it looks like. And it has an interior as well, which I'll show you in a minute. And then you add the plating on top of the steel frame. So it's very sturdy, it's very heavy, it's like 24 pounds I think. This is an example of an issue that you get. This was a replacement one for lights, but I got my ex to fix the lights for me, but I did get this replacement eventually. So you can see there is part of the steel frame, that's actually for the side, so it's all reinforced with the steel frame, and then you put the panels on top. So yeah, painting this was such an undertaking. I have never painted anything like this in my life, like a model. I'm not a painter, so it was quite the undertaking. Here's my stash of paints and washes and thinners and airbrush cleaners. I bought myself a really cheap airbrush on Amazon, which worked well enough, a dual action airbrush. First time ever using an airbrush, so the learning curve for me was just huge. But yeah, the base coat is Insignia White that I used, which is pretty much what everyone uses. It's like a lacquer. You can see my fingers now are permanently colored. That's not nail polish, that's actually paint. So yeah, I used like 6 or 7 cans of that. I used a ton of, this is actually what color my hands are right now. This is the smoke, Tamiya smoke. It's just makes the ship look dirty without any effort. I used these weathering kits and a whole bunch of washes, and just, yeah, masking I've never done before, and airbrushing. But yeah, so if you ever wanted the Master Replica Falcon, I highly recommend going for this. I don't know, even if you don't paint it, it's still a really nice kit. Like I said, I'm no painter, right? So yeah, some of the neat things with this is you can take the dish off, and then you can let me show you if I can get further enough away. Lift this off. Lift that off. And I've got some panels in here. You can display this with the landing gear, or you can wall mount it. It comes with a wall mount, and these things here are, if you're going to wall mount it, then you put these where the landing gear goes. So here's the landing gear, if you can see it under there. There's 5, because it's Empire Strikes Back version, so there's 5 landing gears there. You can see all my weathering that I did underneath, and the paint as well. I had this in so many sections for so long because of painting, like mandibles off, and just so many, all the side panels were off, because I had to paint everything separately. But anyways, like painting was a huge job. Here's the interior. You can see part of the interior there. If this will focus, yeah. And here's part of my ramp. You can use that to stash parts, which is kind of what I'm doing. So more of the interior. Like, this thing is just detailed, and people buy all these LEDs, like these model makers, and they light this whole thing up, like all the consoles with blinking lights. You can buy all these extra parts from Parafix or something, I think it's called, in Shapeways. You can redo the cockpit, you can buy little figures, you know, which I'm going to do, that are made for this model, that you just have to paint and sit in the seats. And yeah, what a massive undertaking this was. Like, my back is killing me. I have an earache for the first time in my life. I breathed in more toxic vapors than anybody should in one lifetime, because I had to do a lot of the clear coating in the house because it's winter out now and it's too cold. So luckily I got to do, you know, the base color, all the base color outside. It was still nice enough out. But for the clear coat, I'd have to do a little bit at a time inside the house, and yeah, that's not good. It's not healthy. But yeah, so there's that. I'll show you the ramp, which on mine is totally screwed up now. Pissed me off because it was so hard to do and it took me so long. It's like the worst part of the whole model. That and putting these on for me. Putting these in these side panels, they just didn't fit. And they were very hard to get on. So, I'll show you my ramp here. So the ramp section, it's even gonna work. I've got it, I'm on the wrong freaking side. Okay. Yeah. Not working so good anymore. Pissed me off. It was, but anyway. So here is the ramp. It's okay because and it goes up. But my batteries are dying, you can tell, because I was screwing around with this stupid ramp. Hey, quiet, out. But yeah, I bought it mainly, you know, I just care about the lights and how it looks on the exterior because it's for my collection and it's a display piece. So yeah, there is the Deagostini 32-inch studio scale Falcon. Sorry I'm moving around so much, but I'm just a little unorganized at the moment. And I'm gonna wall mount it eventually. I have like no room for it right now. But yeah, did I ever learn a lot doing this? Mostly regarding painting and weathering. Because yeah, like I've never done it before. Like I said, I'm no painter. So there she is. Yeah, I have this. It comes in like you can order it for over. You can buy it all at once, or you can buy it in 12 issues over a year, or 24, 25 packs over 2 years, which is the way I went. So I got 4 issues a month, and I had it sitting in like 25 boxes in all these little bags like this for almost 2 years. Because it was just such a huge undertaking. I knew it was going to be. And I didn't know what I wanted to do about paint also, so until I figured everything out, I didn't start building it. But, so yeah, 2 months. 2 months, full on, freaking non-stop. And there's a little couple things I screwed up on, like, you shouldn't, people know this, and they pass it along. The Facebook groups are really good. You shouldn't tighten this down all the way, because this, when you take this off to view the inside, this is supposed to go underneath there. Uh-oh. Out. And if you tighten it down all the way, then you get kind of a lip here. And of course I didn't read that until after the fact, so. And a lot of people, and I did this initially, they use magnets on the side panels so that you can take them off and unscrew the thing to take the top off if you ever want to fix or add any more electronics. And I did that initially, but I went back and I glued them on because I just didn't like the way panels were sitting for me. I mean, it looked okay, but if I would have just left it, I'm sure I would have been okay with it, but I went back and glued them in, so there's no going inside to loosen this for me now. I might actually be able to get to it if I take this off, and you can take this section off as well and loosen it some. Oh yeah, and the thing is resin. Like, it's not plastic, this is all resin. Sorry about my phone flashing, you know it does that. I don't know why it does that. But yeah, anyway, there is the Deagostini Empire Strikes Back Falcon. And I'm sure, you know, my paint isn't exactly correct. It's close, but there's a couple places where it's not correct, but I'm more concerned about how it displays. Everybody knows what ship it is, than getting everything exactly right. I mean, I could still spend, you know, a few weeks on paint on this. There's little hash marks that are supposed to be all over it, and little red squares, and etc., etc. But at some point I need a rest. Like I said, my back is killing me from sitting there like for weeks and lifting this thing because it's super heavy. And yeah, anyway, there it is. I'm pretty happy that I was able to build it. It was touch and go sometimes. But, and I screwed up in a couple places. But to the novice eye, you can't tell where I screwed it up, really. I think I might have forgot to put in a couple support frames that go like vertical, because I just see two of them in the box, and unless they came with some of the replacement parts I got, then I forgot. Oh yeah, and when you're building it, you use these things. You screw onto the bottom so that you can work on it, like so that it can sit on there. These are bolts, and I'm missing one, so it might still be on the inside somewhere. I'm not sure. But I should be able to check when I unscrew the back there. Anyways, that was a huge undertaking for me. And there it is. Thanks for watching.